Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. While at Allstate Arena for the Survivor Series, CM Punk addressed the question of whether he considered quitting the match. On the main stage of last year's premium live event, he made his WWE comeback. Speculation of an appearance by the Second City Saint on the program was high, but no confirmation came. When he showed up at the venue that day, he wasn't even signed to the firm. During the men's War Games bout, the Raw star signed his contract, according to O'Shea Jackson Jr. and T.J. Jefferson of No Contest Wrestling. The major disclosure occurred after the conclusion of the fight. When CM Punk arrived at Allstate Arena, fans wanted to know whether he thought about canceling the arrangement. His words were, "In 1 year's time, on November 25, 2024, CM Punk will have made his triumphant comeback to WWE. After a 10-year hiatus, the voice of the voiceless returned to the Royal Rumble this year, this time in the ring and on television. Several months of his life were cut short when he hurt himself in the 30-man bout. Drew McIntyre is the one who hurt him, and this coming Saturday, inside Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood, the two celebrities will square off. Which one will emerge triumphant is something to look forward to. There aren't many names in professional wrestling that generate as much buzz and passion as CM Punk. The career of CM Punk has been filled with high-profile events and scandals, beginning with his notorious pipe bomb speech in 2011 and continuing through his surprise exit from WWE in 2014, and most recently, his turbulent tenure with AEW. So, the whole wrestling community held its breath in late 2023 when reports began circulating that Punk was in contact with WWE about a possible comeback. What may be one of the most surprising comebacks in wrestling history has fans guessing, critics weighing in, and insiders dropping clues. Although Punk returned to WWE's limelight, many wondered whether he was really prepared to sign a contract. Is it possible that Punk may suddenly back out of the arrangement, or that he would really return to the corporation that he had openly criticized? We were all waiting for CM Punk to answer the burning question. Did he ever think about pulling out of the WWE pack before meeting with Triple H? And he finally did. In order to grasp the significance of CM Punk's decision to rejoin WWE, one must examine the circumstances behind his departure from the business over 10 years ago. The 2014 departure of CM Punk was anything from subtle. It was accompanied by a spectacular fallout that would go down in wrestling lore. Punk caused a stir in 2014 when he abruptly left WWE, citing health problems, creative concerns, and a lack of respect from WWE executives as his reasons. He vented his emotions on Colt Cabana's podcast the following year. Many of his followers were concerned that his comments had permanently severed ties with WWE. In 2021, after a 7-year hiatus from wrestling, Punk startled everyone once again by joining AEW. Punk seems to have finally found a place where he could relax and let his imagination run wild for a while. But he left the promotion in September 2023 after a brawl at All In, and his time in AEW was characterized by injuries, disagreements, and disputes that occurred behind the scenes. The news that AEW had put Punk in his place sparked speculation that he might return to WWE, particularly with Survivor Series 2023 scheduled to be held in Chicago, his birthplace. Whispers of clandestine talks between CM Punk and WWE officials only added fuel to the flames as fans speculated about a possible return. Not only was CM Punk debating whether or not to return to the ring, but he was also at a crossroads emotionally over rejoining the organization that had disappointed him in the past. When CM Punk did speak out about it, he was forthright about his reservations before making a final choice. Punk, in an exclusive interview, said that returning to WWE was an exciting but terrifying prospect. The WWE wasn't just any company that Punk left, he said. It was really personal. There was a great deal of emotional and creative, unresolved business. Punk said that he had doubts about returning to the wrestling business in general, and WWE in particular, for a long time. Punk first seemed enthusiastic about the prospect of a WWE comeback, but he began to question his decision as the talks continued. "There were moments when I thought about backing out," said the man. "You have to know that WWE was more than simply a place of employment for me. It was also an organization where I believed many things were amiss. I did, in fact, have moments when I questioned if I was making the correct decision." Among the defining incidents that propelled Punk ahead was his encounter with Triple H, Chief Content Officer of WWE. During Punk's first stint in WWE, he and Triple H had an infamous falling out, and Punk was candid about his animosity towards the game due to the way things were handled during his tenure with the business. Their 2023 encounter, nevertheless, was unexpectedly fruitful. "Triple H and I didn't always see eye to eye, but when we sat down, it wasn't about the past, it was about what we could do moving forward," said Punk. A great deal of candor was spoken throughout the discussion. His candor was admirable, and I appreciated it. I agree with him that WWE has evolved much since my departure. I felt a lot more at ease about returning after that talk. Punk freely said that his perspective on WWE was altered after speaking with Triple H. "I may be returning to a different company from the one I left." According to Punk, Triple H and the crew are now concentrating on a new goal, satisfying the fans' desires and providing artists with greater creative freedom. "That's what piqued my interest." His contentious departure from AEW was another point that troubled Punk. Punk reached a turning point in his life after the fight at All In. He had the option to go away from wrestling for a while, allowing his time with AEW to be a distant memory, or he could have written his own last chapter in his career. The chance to reshape his wrestling reputation with WWE was too good to pass up for Punk. "AEW took me on an exciting journey, but it didn't finish the way I had hoped. Having strong views has always been a trait of mine, and although it has served me well at times, it has also hurt me," Punk acknowledged. "Despite all that transpired, I hoped that wasn't the end of my career. I hoped it wouldn't be how people in this industry would remember me." According to him, WWE was the perfect venue for him to end his wrestling career on a high note. That place has history. There are tales that remain unfinished. In the end, Punk's choice to continue working with WWE was strengthened by his confidence in his storytelling abilities and the improvements he saw inside the organization. "Wrestling is all about those moments," Punk said. "Plus, there were a ton of moments I wanted to make again when I considered it. There are several unspoken things. And WWE was the perfect venue for me to bring those memories to life." It wasn't just about him, Punk said. "The choice affected everyone. The fans who have supported me through the good times and the bad deserve my gratitude. I couldn't bear to disappoint them since they were the driving force for my return." In the end, CM Punk committed to WWE despite the rumors and misgivings, paving the way for one of the most anticipated comebacks in professional wrestling history. "There were definitely moments when I thought about backing out," he said. "But at the end of the day, I knew this was where I needed to be." The best in the world, CM Punk is returning to WWE with a mission, prepared to leave his imprint on the organization that started it all, as the return of the best in the world is drawing near. With Triple H at the helm of CM Punk's artistic direction, the next phase of the band's history is sure to be monumental.